Okay, hi Austin, how you doing? All right, thank you for resubmitting. Let me just try to get this in. Okay, there we go. So we can see everything. Yes. Okay, so it technically and technical proficiency is good in your file, but there's a couple of things that are missing. Let me just get that open a little bit more. There we go. A couple of things missing, and if we jump over to milestone 5 task 2 instructions page, we can see that you want at least 2 adjustment layers clipped to the appropriate layer, and then you'll correct the flaws in at least 2 of images using the non-destructive corrections layers that I had demonstrated in this Here's How video located in milestone 2 task 1 instructions page. Let's jump over to the file. There's a couple of things we have now. I see we only have one adjustment layer clipped, and that's this one right here that's clipped to the can, the body itself. The other adjustment layer is called a global adjustment layer, and that means that it is affecting everything below it, not specifically targeting one layer. So we would need another adjustment layer that is specifically targeting one layer. My recommendation is to do a levels adjustment layer on the grapes, both of the grapes arms, because right now there's not a whole lot of contrast in those grapes. I think the levels adjustment layer will improve the contrast, allowing the viewer a more definitive view of those arms. Being a bunch of grapes. Okay, so yes, we need another adjustment layer clipped to the layer that it's targeting. And we also have your 2 dedicated repair layers. However, I see the right leg repair layer. If I turn that off, that works, right? But the left leg repair stamp, nothing happens there. So we would have to definitely include some repairs on that layer. Conversely, I think it would be important to mention at this point, you don't have to clip the adjustment repair layer to the layer it's repairing. As long as the reason it's above the layer it's repairing, it's mostly for organization's sake. But if it's anywhere above the layer it's going to repair, you're fine. The reason we place it right above and name it accordingly is just for organization's sake. So again, you don't have to clip your corrections layer to the layer it's correcting. Okay, my other comments, I've got 2 additional comments that have to do more with design than technical proficiency. The first is the typeface. I think the typeface is really small. I think that title is really small. I would like to see it something like this. I mean, really show that typeface. And you can even do it across the top on a path, a semicircle or something like that, just to put an arc in that, make it even more interesting. I don't think that gray type is as interesting as it could be. I would recommend taking some red or some orange out of the face of the creature and applying it to the garbage dump Dan type to draw a more solid connection between the title and the creature, and also to add a little bit visual interest. The other comment I have is the background, and I've said this before. I don't think the background is conceptually connected with the concept of Garbage Dump Dan, because Garbage Dump Dan doesn't really belong on a rural road in farm country, because, I mean, there's no garbage. I mean, wouldn't it be more conceptually what's the word I'm looking for? It would be more conceptual. It would make more sense conceptually to place him in some sort of maybe an urban setting, or maybe in a factory or a garbage dump or a landfill or something that is associated with garbage. And I think that will really draw some conceptual ties between the background and the caricature himself. Right now, we don't have those ties, because I think the first thing that the viewer says to themselves is, well, where did these parts come from if he's in the middle of a road in a cornfield or a bean field or whatever it is? So there's not typically, garbage cans and rotten fruit and food in a rural farming field. Did you see what I'm saying? So my recommendation is to change your background and to also apply those other elements that I have suggested. I think you're masking all your masking is all in text, so that's great. And then of course you are at 8 by 10 at 300 ppi, as we can see. I know it says 2400 by 3000, but if we change that to inches, we can see it's 8 by 10 at 300 ppi. So fantastic job there. All right, those are my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.